Hey guys,
What's happening?
what's happening? Okay, as promised, I've never met Mo's dad. Almost met him, but I missed out on a chance to meet him
Why didn't you meet him? Because he
because
was alive when we got married.
you never introduced me to him. I almost met him at his funeral because I was probably 8 months pregnant. I think 9 months pregnant.
Yeah, with
Because
our second
I remember that the reason that
with our second child. Yeah,
I did not meet him was because
yeah,
I couldn't fly at that time
yeah.
because I was quarter to I was like 9 months
But also, I mean, it also had to do again
with your relationship
with my relationship, what we
exactly
alluded to in the first part of this.
because yeah
And if you're watching this, there's a video preceding this, so
yeah
please go watch that video to get perspective. Look, man, I grew up and I don't want to discredit in any way
yeah
the people who played a very important role in my upbringing. You know, I grew up with um, the younger brother of my grandfather. Does that make sense?
your grandfather, but who's
Who was
your grandfather's brother?
younger, the youngest,
Yeah,
right? And that's the man that raised
you as
me
his
up
own.
as his own, and that's the man we buried last year or something,
Yeah,
right? Last year or beginning of the year, actually,
I think early this year.
early this year. Very good man, very very good man, and the the role that you want to say.
No, I want you to
I
talk
know.
about. I want you to talk about the third visit.
No, I'm going
Okay.
there. That's my
Departure point.
yeah. That man. I called him Mutata, the one who raised me, my grandfather, and as I said, a very good man. And he had his own issues as an elderly person, like all elderly people. And my relationship with him, though, was only became healthy now that I'm old. But as a child, it was highly strenuous, highly unhealthy.
Why?
Yo, yo. He used to beat us up.
Okay, for those who are watching from the US, UK, when he says yo yo yo,
He was so funny.
when he says yo 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 yo, he actually just emphasizing the extremeness. Because maybe you're sitting there and thinking yo 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 yo.
What does yo
mean?
mean?
Yo. He's emphasizing the extremeness
Oh my word!
of
Stop
the
it.
strictness.
He was very
of
strict,
his grandfather.
and again, even till recent years. When I say recent, I mean recent. I used to have bad dreams. You know this.
Yeah.
Bad dreams about that relationship, and it was highly unhealthy. And to grow up in an environment, and we're talking about children who grow up with their biological father absent, without their fathers, and the importance of us cultivating that relationship, even if we take the initiative, it's fine. Let's keep the bigger picture in mind. But here's the thing: that relationship was so strenuous that for me, I hungered having a father. For me, a father figure, is someone that, beats his wife, is someone that, is very short-handed. You know what I mean? It's not short-tempered, sorry. Someone whose word is not just final, but the first word is final. Does that make sense? And someone you can't go against, you can't challenge. Um, you know, Someone who behaves any way and anyhow he wants to behave because he's the man.
So even growing up, you would not have a say or a view on things, really.
No, of course. You know what I mean? So, and there are a whole lot of things, and as I said, I don't want to get into the psychology of that.
Yeah.
There are a whole lot of things that comes with, and so with that background, in mind, I had this thing about, first of all, an attitude towards father figures, one, but also had attitude towards mothers as well, because
you felt abandoned by both.
By both. You know what I mean? My mother, I never grew up with her. I never lived with my mother under one roof.
Ever.
Never have I ever lived with my mother under one roof. Even when we're in the same town, never have I ever lived with my mother under one roof. Now think about that.
I mean, what that does to you psychologically.
So for me, parental figures, initially I always had this thing of whatever, such that I became a rebel, such that I never had respect for structure, respect for law, respect for anything that is organized, that says, thou shalt not, thou shalt.
Because you've never seen it demonstrated.
It's never been modeled to me, and it's never been engrafted, in my system and my psyche and my way, in my growing up. So, but I had this hunger. So I was angry at a father figure. I was angry at a mother figure. Also for the fact that, growing up under these circumstances, and I hope some of you can relate, but you are always the first suspect.
Because
when something goes wrong, you are the first suspect. You are the reason why. And you will never amount to anything. You will never, Sorry, there's great things as well that has happened. I'm just mentioning, one side.
I hear you, but I'm just, my mind is still stuck on your mom just a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that you look back, because when you think about it, your mom was only 15 years old when she fell pregnant and gave birth to you probably at 16.
Yeah.
I look at my 19-year-old now,
which is my second born.
And I think, okay, if Tiwashi's got a 3-year-old child that she probably had at 15, what kind of a mother will she be?
Will she even?
And the more I think about it, it's the more I understand, and I put myself rather in your mom's shoes, to say, when you have a child at 15, what do you do?
Yeah.
As a 15-year-old, leaving the child with a grandmother, father or mother becomes the most natural thing to do.
Yeah.
Because you're also a child. At 15, you want to go play.
Yeah.
You want to go out with your friends. You want to go to the mall. Okay, maybe there were no malls back then, but I'm saying you wanna be with your friends.
Yeah.
And assuming a role of a mom is really the last thing in your mind.
Listen.
Now that you look back, you know what I mean?
You can't, let alone it be the last thing. You can't.
Yeah.
You have no means, you have no resources, you've got nothing. Right?
Yeah.
So for me, the blame has never been on that.
How old was your dad, just out of interest?
I have no clue.
Because I can imagine if she was 16, probably dad was 18.
I truly have no clue.
I'm just assuming. 18, 17 maybe.
Yeah.
And vele when you had a child with Umuntu at age 16, come on, it's not like you're going to have a supportive father.
No.
You know.
Well, there are cases where
There are, but
it's
very
not.
rare.
It is not the norm.
Very rare cases.
I absolutely get
because
that.
now umuntu na 18, they still have identity sort of issues, and maybe now at that time they were not looking to have children.
Yeah.
They knew they needed to do the deed, but not to bring the child. You know what I mean? So I'm just thinking out, sort of out loud, to say both parties were not mentally and psychologically
at the right
ready
you're 100%
for the responsibility.
For me, my anger, and I can call it that, I can give it a name, towards my biological mother has always been when she was 30.
Later, when she grew up.
Yes.
Okay.
Because even
she could
then
have come back to say, hey,
hey, what's up?
Remember me.
Because the thing is, she knew about the treatment that one was receiving.
Oh, did she?
Yes.
How do you know?
She knew because I would tell her sometimes I would have bruises, and all of those kind of things. So she knew. But the issue is, my anger towards her was very much when she was in her 30s.
Okay, maybe even 20s.
Because after that, she went on to have 2 children after me, right? And children that even today she lives with.
She was able to take care of.
And I'm very proud of her for doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but mine has always been about me, to say, but what about me?
So you wish she probably came back for you.
You know what I mean? And also, my sisters, even today, I don't know how to relate to them. And I'm not saying that because those are the easy words that kind of out of my mouth. I mean that literally.
Yeah, because you didn't grow up
because
together.
I never grew up. Again, we never had that relationship, but we always known that, okay, that's my sister.
Yeah.
We always known that. But it's never been, sister brother.
Yes,
you
type
get what
of
I'm saying?
Relationship.
Yes,
Let's go back to the reason for this video. You had met your father twice. You met him.
Yes. So
when you met him when you were 2 years old, or somewhere around.
Yeah.
Then you met him when you were at university.
Yeah.
When you made an attempt on your own to go see him.
Yes.
And you left before time because you didn't feel welcome, or you didn't feel comfortable.
Yes.
In his new sort of environment. And then you attempted to meet him again for the third time.
Let's fix this so that it's proper. I had not met him when I was 2.
Okay, you were
in 1988.
You were.
I was 88 years. 76.
Yes.
No.
No,
you
were not. You were much older.
I was 12.
Yeah.
So the first time I met him, I was 12.
The time Bezokoka damage is 12.
Yes, I was 12.
Oh, that's some right.
That's why I can remember.
Yes, the conversation,
things,
because I was saying to you at 2, you couldn't have remembered all of that.
And then, so that was the first time. The second time, when I went to visit in Capetown, a college, it's never, they really tried to make me feel at home.
His wife, I know, because you used to. We actually used to speak with his wife a lot on the phone.
Even afterwards, I would speak with his wife.
Yes,
and
she was such a lovely lady.
Lovely lady, and they really tried to make. And for me, can I tell you, for the first time, I felt like I'm at home. I feel like this is my sister. This is my brother, younger brother, and all of those kind of things.
Because you were the eldest.
Yes, I was the eldest. So I remember that visit. The guy, used to feel like makulu bas of sort because, as I said, he doesn't drink. He doesn't consume alcohol. So he would, come in. I remember on weekends because it was the December holidays. So on weekends, because he was still working during the week, even during those holidays. Weekends, we would braai, but he would never hide his cannabis smoking. So we would stand there outside, and then he would smoke, and then we would have very good conversations, together with my younger brothers and him and so on. And the sister, Unundumiso, she was like, because she was the only girl among boys.
Yeah.
So she was one of us, bless her soul, she's passed on. And so it was not that I was uncomfortable, but it was just me. I guess it was just, triggers.
You probably were feeling out.
Exactly. Psychologically.
Not that they were making you feel.
No, right? So I left before Christmas.
Yeah.
And he felt so bad. He was like, did we do anything wrong? Did we do, And I left them with that guilt. You get what I'm saying? It was so bad. So the next time I meet him, his wife called to say he had passed on. And when that happened, I felt sad for a man that I never got to know, and that never really got to tell me who I am.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And such that I booked a flight.
Yes.
To Cape Town.
Just after we were married.
This is 2 years after we were married, 2007.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And in our 3rd year of marriage, ran to Cape Town, booked a flight, and booked a car. And my going to Cape Town, I was working, so to me there was no need to take leave and be there for like 3 days before the thing and whatever, the funeral.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like I'm going to another funeral. Right? And so when I got there, took my car and then drove to a Khayelitsha. At the time, in 2007, navigators were not very big. So you would rely a lot on people telling you, on the 3rd robot, Chikaka left.
Take
and
your
then,
first ride. So BP garage.
But fortunately, Khayelitsha is not that difficult. So I had a sense. Yeah, I had a sense, and plus I was in touch with my younger brother, right?
And funeral happened.
And then, so on my way to the funeral, I was overwhelmed by a sense of anger. Towards my father. I was like, look, I've spent so much money. I've already spent so much, but I've spent so much money coming here.
Yeah.
For a guy that didn't want to have anything to do with me. Forget 1988. For me.
Forget
the phone calls.
Yes.
After 1996. You know what I mean? This is now 10 years later, in 2007 when he passed on, and 11 years. So I'm thinking, this guy.
Have you ever heard his side of the story though?
No, that's the thing. I've never heard his side. So here's what happened. On my way to the funeral in Khayelitsha, I stopped on the side in thinking, I cried, tears. And I turned around, turned the car around, back to the airport. My flight back, I was meant to sleep over. I booked a hotel, or was I to come back the same day? I can't remember.
I think you were going to come back the same day.
The same day, but it was
afternoon.
late afternoon, yeah. So I drove back, didn't go to the funeral, drove back to the airport.
Returned the car.
So I booked the car for the whole day, literally a few minutes. That's how heavy that, because you don't get to be rational. You don't think at that level.
Don't you think you were grieving maybe?
It's possible. It's possible that one was grieving.
Maybe you were grieving or you were emotional. And it was your way. It was your way of reflecting grief. Maybe it was your way of showing that you are actually
angry, right?
Grieving or
I don't know. I never,
because
it's possible.
He never got to tell you what he wanted to tell you, right?
No, he never. He never got to tell. The thing is, here's the thing, so that at that stage of my life, I already have my firstborn. You know, I have a little baby.
Yeah.
You know, coming and all of that. So for me, life was about my life and mine.
And doing things right, at least with your family.
With my family. You get what I'm saying? I turned around the car, went to the airport, stayed and sat at the airport. And I only got a flight early afternoon. Space. Because there are not many flights, even back then, between Cape Town and Durban.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you book SAA, you wait, and I sat there and I was happy sitting there.
But here's the thing. There I was at home thinking that you are at a funeral. Let me tell you something, by the way. He never told me this.
For years.
Until very, very late. I think, not years. I think probably you told me like a couple of months down the line. So that was such a turning point in my life. I think I this is when I thought, you know what? There's a lot. There's a lot about this because Connor, and also how I think I kind of realized something is not right here. I would ask you things like, so how was the funeral? It was just a funeral, you know. I'm like, no, I understand, but how was the funeral? How was your mom? How did they receive you? Stepmom, there was. You know, what did they say? You know, and there was so little coming from you in terms of how the funeral went, and I think something in me just like, something is not adding up here. And I think probably like 6 months later down the line, he said, I actually didn't go to the funeral. Oh my word. I just felt like, whew, like, what is this? What have I gotten myself into? You know? And I think we never spoke about it for years after that because
we never spoke about it.
I just thought, wow.
Actually, the first time
So you fly to Cape Town, you spend money. I mean, we knew the words at the time. And I'm thinking, you spend money. You go to Cape Town. You hire a vehicle. And then you come back.
Yep.
Without going to a funeral. Like, who does that?
Sweetie, when you... There's a point you get at as a child where nothing outweighs the anger that you have towards your absent father. There's a point, there are children today who are grown children who
like us,
who know where their father is, have the number, have the address,
and simply choose not to be involved in his life or engage him for nothing because they had developed a way of living that excludes him. And therefore, I really don't want to add unnecessary pressures in my life at this point in time because I've got my life figured out. This is the box I live in. And that box does not include anything called father. So it doesn't matter the cost against that pain. So I'm saying that there's a point in your life where but you also don't consider the other side, the value that it could bring had you done things
had you opened yourself up to him. Because here's the thing, right now, I'm 49 years old, right? And
What age did he pass at?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm 49 years old. He was in his 40s, 42 or something. But I'm 49 years old right now. And I understand. Even without him explaining anything to me.
Because I'm sure it was difficult for him, yeah?
I understand. And I wish I could tell him that.
Yeah.
You know, to say, man.
I really wish he lived longer because, judging by where you are at the moment, had he lived longer, it would have been easy to go to Cape Town to him.
Oh, Cape Town would be a nice holiday.
We
always use
yes,
we do a nice excuse to go.
To go on holiday.
Yeah.
And as a 60-year-old, 50-year-old, maybe at the time, 60-year-old, where you actually say, you know what, Dad,
man,
I understand why you did what you did.
And here's the thing, maybe we need to bring this to conclusion. I want to really encourage someone whose father is not around, the circumstances within which you were born, they were not Model C, right?
They were not ideal.
They were not ideal for the people in other countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were not ideal, right? It may be that, you were born in a manger, in a stinking environment, figuratively speaking. And the choices that your father made at that point, and this is what made me release my biological mother, is to take myself and travel back in time in years that I was a child and try to make myself be grown up in those times. Right?
But it also took me pushing you towards her.
Oh, big time. Oh, that's another whole
over
story.
The years, because
that's another whole story.
That was also very hard.
Listen, guys, if you had a relationship with, if you are married to somebody who does not encourage you to have a relationship with your own family, your own biological family, you do need to start thinking, you do need to start thinking, doing some serious thoughts, because your partner ought to really play that role, and not drive a wedge between you, and your parents and so on. But the role that Phindi played is so pivotal. But I had to travel back in time to put myself in her shoes, to say
why am I sleepy?
The decisions that she made at the time were decisions of a teenager, were decisions of someone in her early 20s, and she's allowed to make mistakes.
And she was young, now that we know.
You know what I'm saying? So you there's a grace that goes with that. You know what I'm saying? And perhaps with my father, and that's the thing, for me, one of the things, and there are a lot of regrets, one of the regrets I have is for me not to tell him that, to say, especially when he reached out, to me a number of times to say, there's so much I want to talk to you about. There's so much that I want to tell you about. And I denied him that opportunity, those opportunities. And it's really an opportunity for me to say, I understand. I understand. I've got a son with whom I came to this marriage. He was 5 at the time.
Yes.
Right? Now he's 26. Right? And he lives estates by himself. And I always run back to my father, my biological father. The things that I would, well, we have a good relationship with my son now, we've had, for a couple of years, but, there are things that I really would love to engage with him
On.
and talk about and really open my heart and speak man to man, not via gadgets, or things like that.
Yeah.
Or visits once in a while. You know what I mean? I really would like to talk to him about that. But I tell him that. I tell him, every time. But the issue is, your father has had challenges in his life, and he made the decisions that he made in the manner that he has made them. You might not agree, you might not agree with his decision making processes, but
it were decisions nonetheless.
There were decisions nonetheless, and we appeal to your sensibilities as well, for you to understand, to understand where he comes from, where he came from. And by that, you're not saying you did right, he did right. No, that's not what you're saying. You are saying under these circumstances, it's okay. Because you have children now, your children keep asking you about their grandfather. What do you tell them, about their grandfather?
Yeah.
Because you need to be careful that you don't sponsor their views of him.
Yeah.
You need to be careful that they make their own decisions,
assessments,
and their own assessments. About the even your child, about their father, because at the end of the day, he is their father. And again, this is for men who are, and I did say this in the part 1 of this video, this is for men who want to form part of their children,
who are willing,
who are ready, who are even remorseful. I'm not talking about people who,
there's someone who once said something, actually it was a friend of ours, who once said, when someone makes a decision, be it a bad decision, you always need to remember that it was the best decision for them at that particular time. Actually it was Unati, I think, who said that. It was the best decision at that particular time for them. No one makes a bad decision knowingly and willingly. I'm making this, and this one I'm gonna end in hot water with this one, and I'm making it. Sometimes you do need to think, when other people make decisions, they may look bad later, but at the time when that decision was being made, for them it felt like, because you also need to consider that when a decision is made, a person has considered other options, and then they come to a conclusion that actually leaving this child with my grandfather, they will be better off than me mothering this child, because I have no ability. I have nothing in me that can allow me to mother. So best decision at that time is to actually say, you know what, he will be fed here by my grandfather's house. He will have a shelter here by my grandfather's house. There is a grandmother who's here, which means there is a mother figure, So at that particular time, just as we close, at that particular time, that decision may have been the best that was presented to them. But when you look at it later,
with the information that they had,
with the information that was at their disposal, it was the best. But
you make that decision against the other side of someone who would say, I would have much deeper respect for you living in the streets with me. I'm making an example. You know, I would have much deeper respect for you
taking me with you as
taking
she
me with
been.
you as she been.
And the impact that I suppose people have got different levels of I don't know, ability to stretch themselves. The others who can stretch themselves to a certain limit, and others who can stretch more. I'm sure Omunye could have thought, rather than taking umntwana eshibhini, and because your life could have actually turned out different.
Life would have definitely
had she taken a decision, actually
I'm taking
you with me.
Yeah, life could have probably turned out for the worst. Because as you say, there's shebeens, there's living in the streets, there's there's child abuse these days, sexual abuse.
Now you're gonna be abused by whoever.
And then you turn around and say, no, but why didn't you leave me with?
Hey, guys.
So there's never a right or wrong.
Let's just leave these things to God, right? There's a scripture that says, God knew us
before we were formed. In my mother's womb.
In our mother's womb.
My goodness.
Right?
Prophet Jeremiah.
And the 12,
chapter 1.
It continues. He blessed us, ne? And sanctified
us.
You know what that means?
Yeah. He set us aside.
It means already is a mistake.
Yeah.
It is a mistake in our eyes.
Yeah.
However, where God is concerned, because he knew you in your mother's womb.
Yeah.
It means even your journey, he knew it.
Yeah.
The fact that you will be born of a 15-year-old, God knew it. The fact that a 15-year-old would leave you behind, God knew it.
Yeah.
Nothing surprises God.
Yeah.
We are the people that just get surprised
by
all of those things. But thank you guys.
Thank you guys
for taking the time.
Yeah.
This just
and
came.
For this you have Phindi to thank, by the way, because we were having a conversation, seated in our lounge, and she was like, you know what? Because we had that great conversation with Andis.
It was it just reminded us,
and we're reflecting on the relationship that she had with her dad. And I do want to say this, please. Can I just say this one thing? Thanks to Andiswa again, Gebashe on this. The relationship that you have with your father matters to who you become as a parent to your children. Does that make sense? It matters, because I keep asking myself this question, and it always lingers in me. Uguti, that had she had a bad relationship with her father, how will that have impacted her in the challenges that she has gone through?
Yes,
in her own life.
Yeah.
How would that? Because, oh my goodness, the stabilizing force of a father, the security that relationship brings, the calmness,
in its silence, because sometimes most of these father relationships are very calm and
we don't make
silent
noise.
and
sometimes you may think that he's absent while present, but never take. Let me make an example. When a child comes home and they say, I've achieved this and this and that, they will get kisses and hugs and pets and everything, gifts and all of that from mother. Even in a single mothered environment.
Yeah.
It will never compare, ever compare with a deep voice, Yaga Baba.
That says, well done, my man.
No, nothing else said.
Yeah.
No hugs, no kisses, no gifts, but just
that tap.
You did well.
Guys, that's where we end.
And by the way, that's not to undermine single mothers before you come at us. but I'm just talking about the role of the father.
No. This particular episode, we actually going to talk about single moms next time. About this huge significant role that they play.
That single mother, because they play a very important
raising
role.
children.
Very important role.
We were just reflecting on fathers, but reflecting on fathers, it's actually made me think. I wanna talk about and not now, actually, maybe in another video. I want us to talk about receiving awards and not having your parents, in your case, be
God.
there.
You want to go somewhere else?
We're going to talk about that in another video, because shame, man. My poor husband.
No, I guess it is shame, man.
My poor husband will get awards at school. He's top of the class, blah blah blah, and there are no parents who are there to cheer them up. I mean,
okay, you're gonna make me cry now. One makes me.
We'll talk
sad.
about that in another video. But I had a similar thingy. My mom, fine, was present, but I would see kids who. Because, I would be top of my class too. I'd get awards for this and that at school. And I would see, because at that time I was in a sort of multiracial...
Okay, we're getting into this
We're
now.
not getting there. I'm prompting the next video. I was in a multiracial school, and then here I am. Hey, kids are with their mom and dad. And I'm thinking, hey, this is becoming serious. But I will be without my mom and dad. I'll be there with my sisters, trying to cheer me up and all. But thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
If you have missed the episode that we were making reference to, Gaandiswa, it is actually the episode before these 2 episodes. So just make sure you go watch that episode. And we hope to hear from you after you've watched the episode.
It is Andiswa Kebasha's episode. And please search for it. It's a very, very wonderful episode. I'm trying to search to see the episode number.
Yeah, it's the last one before these 2, because we're gonna post this just now.
And please have a great time. Develop a relationship with your parents. Develop a relationship with your father, especially. And as you do so, may God really, really, really bless you. And thank you so much for taking time. And please do subscribe on this channel. And we're about family. That's our calling. We're pastors, ordained pastors. And we love the Lord with all our hearts. And our approach to family and marriages in particular is coming from that perspective. And so if we say anything that may be offensive to you, we don't apologize for it, but we just say this so that you understand where we come from. We come from a biblical standpoint of view. And may God bless you so much. Thank you so much.
We'll just pray for you. That's what we'll do.
Amen.
Not apologize.
Amen.
Pray for you.
Amen.
Love you guys.